My son Richard walked into my kitchen like he owned it. Behind him was my daughter Linda, carrying a briefcase. They didn't hug me, didn't ask how I was doing. Just sat down at my table and opened that briefcase. "Mom, we need to talk," Richard said in that fake gentle voice people use when they're about to rob you. "About what, honey?" Linda pulled out a stack of papers. "About the house, Mom. You're 74 years old. You can't take care of this big property anymore. It's too much for you." I looked at them both. "I manage just fine." "Do you?" Richard leaned forward. "The gutters need cleaning. The lawn looks terrible. Last week you forgot to lock the back door. I was taking out the trash." "Exactly. You're getting forgetful. It's not safe." Linda pushed the papers closer. "We talked to a lawyer. These documents transfer the house into Richard's name. You can still live here, obviously, but he'll handle all the big decisions. Repairs, taxes, everything." My heart started pounding. "You want me to give you my house?" "We're helping you, Mom," Richard said. "This way, when you get older and need a nursing home, the state can't take the house for medical bills. It's smart planning." Something felt wrong. Very wrong. "Let me think about it," I said quietly. "There's nothing to think about," Linda snapped. "Richard already talked to the county. Everything's ready. Just sign." Richard put a pen in my hand. "Come on, Mom. We're family. Don't you trust us?" I looked down at those papers. At my son's impatient face. At my daughter's cold eyes. And I picked up that pen. But I didn't sign anything. Instead I said, "I need to use the bathroom. Be right back." I walked down the hall, went into my bedroom, and quietly locked the door. Then I called 911. "Welcome to Silence Revenge. I'm Dorothy, and I'm 74 years old." What my kids didn't know was that I wasn't some confused old lady. I was a retired police dispatcher who knew exactly what they were trying to do. This is the story of how one phone call destroyed their plan. Hit subscribe if you want to see what happens when you underestimate Grandma. Trust me, this gets good. Let me back up and tell you about Richard and Linda. They used to be good kids. Really. Richard was a firefighter. Linda was a teacher. I was so proud of them. But then Richard married a woman named Amber. And Amber had expensive taste. New cars, designer clothes, vacations to Europe. They were living beyond their means, and I could see it. Linda wasn't much better. She got divorced last year and had to split everything with her ex-husband. Now she was living in a tiny apartment and hating it. 2 months ago they both started visiting me more. First I thought they just missed me. I was wrong. They'd walk through my house making comments. "This place is worth at least $400,000 now, Mom. Maybe more. You should really update the kitchen. It would increase the value." I wasn't stupid. I knew what they were thinking. But I never imagined they'd try to take it from me while I was still alive. In my bedroom, I whispered into the phone. "This is Dorothy Patterson. I need police at 428 Maple Street. My children are trying to force me to sign over my property. I feel threatened." The dispatcher, a young woman I didn't recognize, said, "Ma'am, are you in danger right now?" "Not physical danger. But they're pressuring me. I'm elderly and I feel coerced. Officers are on the way. Stay on the line with me." "Thank you." I sat on my bed, phone pressed to my ear, and waited. From the kitchen I heard Richard's voice. "Mom, you okay in there?" "Just a minute," I called back sweetly. 5 minutes later, I heard the beautiful sound of a police siren. Knock, knock, knock. "Police. Open up." I heard scrambling in the kitchen. Linda's voice panicked. Who called the cops?" I walked out of my bedroom, phone still in hand, and opened the front door. 2 officers stood there. A tall man named Officer Davis and a woman named Officer Park. "Ma'am, are you Dorothy Patterson?" Officer Davis asked. "Yes, officer. Thank you for coming so quickly." Richard rushed to the door. "What's going on? Why are the police here?" Officer Park stepped inside. We received a call about possible elder coercion. Is there a problem here? Coercion. Linda's voice went shrill. We're her children. We're trying to help her. Help me by taking my house, said clearly. Officer Davis looked at the papers still spread on my kitchen table. He picked one up and read it. This is a property transfer deed, he said slowly. Ma'am, did you want to sign this? No, I said firmly. They brought it here and told me I was too old to manage my own property. They said I had to sign. That's not true, Richard shouted. We were just suggesting. You put a pen in my hand, I interrupted. That's not suggesting. That's pushing. Officer Park pulled out a notepad. Mr. Patterson, Ms. Patterson, step outside with me, please. They went onto the porch. Through the window, I could see Officer Park talking to them sternly. Officer Davis stayed with me. Mrs. Patterson, do you have a lawyer? Not yet. But I will by tomorrow morning. He smiled slightly. Good. Don't sign anything until you talk to them. And if your kids try this again, call us immediately. I will, officer. Thank you. After the police left, Richard and Linda came back inside. They looked furious. You called the cops on us. Linda was shaking with anger. Your own children. You tried to steal my house, I said calmly. What did you expect? We weren't stealing. Yes, you were. You wanted me to sign over my property so you could sell it and take the money. Don't lie to me, Linda. I'm old, not stupid. Richard's face turned red. Fine. You want to be alone in this big house? Fall down the stairs and see if we come running. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get out of my house. Both of you. Now. They grabbed their briefcase and left, slamming the door so hard my pictures rattled on the wall. I sat down at my kitchen table and cried. Not because I was sad. Because I was angry. How dare they? I raised them. I sacrificed everything for them. And this was how they repaid me. Then I wiped my tears, made myself a cup of tea, and got to work. The next morning I called the best estate lawyer in town. Her name was Patricia Holmes. She had short gray hair and smart eyes. Mrs. Patterson, tell me everything. I did. Every detail. When I finished, Patricia leaned back in her chair. Your children attempted elder financial abuse. That's a crime in this state. I don't want them arrested. They're still my kids. I understand. But we need to protect you. Here's what I recommend. She laid out a plan. Good one. First, update my will. Leave the house to a trust that would donate it to charity after my death. Richard and Linda would get nothing. Second, set up a power of attorney with someone I actually trusted. Patricia recommended my niece Hannah, who was a nurse and had always been kind to me. Third, file a restraining order if Richard or Linda tried to contact me again about the property. How much will this cost? Yes. For you. Considering what they tried to do. I'll do it pro bono. Nobody messes with grandmas on my watch. I could have kissed her. 1 week later, Richard and Linda received certified letters in the mail. The letters informed them that I had updated my will. The house would not go to them. It would go to the American Cancer Society in memory of their father, who died of lung cancer 15 years ago. Richard called me screaming. I let it go to voicemail. You spiteful old woman. That house is our inheritance. You can't just give it away. Oh, but I could. And I did. Linda sent me a long text message. Paragraphs and paragraphs about how ungrateful I was. How they'd only been trying to help me. I blocked her number. Then I did something wonderful. I called Hannah my niece. Aunt Dorothy. Is everything okay? Everything's perfect, sweetie. Have a question. How would you feel about moving into my guest room? I could use some company. And you mentioned your apartment lease is ending soon. Really? Are you sure? Absolutely. We'll split the utilities. You can have the whole upstairs. And in exchange, maybe you can help me with the heavy stuff. Gutters. Lawn care. You know. I'd love that, Aunt Dorothy. 2 weeks later, Hannah moved in. She was wonderful. She cooked with me. We watched old movies together. She introduced me to her book club friends. For the first time in years, my house felt like a home again. 6 months passed. I didn't hear from Richard or Linda at all. Then one day Linda showed up at my door. No warning. Just appeared. Hannah answered. "Can I help you? I'm here to see my mother." "She doesn't want to see you." "That's not your decision." Came to the door. "Actually, it is my decision. And Hannah's right. I don't want to see you." Linda's eyes were red. She looked thin. "Mom, please. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Can we just talk?" "About what?" "How you tried to steal my house." "It wasn't like that." "Yes, it was. You and Richard decided I was too old and too stupid to manage my own life. You tried to take the one thing I have left of your father. And when I said no, you got angry. I was just stressed about money. So you tried to take mine." She started crying. Real tears this time. "I lost my job, Mom. I'm about to lose my apartment. I need help." Part of me, the mother part, wanted to let her in. Wanted to fix everything like I always did. But the smart part, the part that remembered how she tried to trick me, that part stayed strong. "Linda, I'll give you the number for social services. They can help you find resources. But I'm not giving you money. And I'm certainly not giving you this house. You're choosing a niece over your own daughter. I'm choosing respect over manipulation. There's a difference." Close the door. Hannah hugged me. That was hard. Yes. But it was right. A year has passed since that day with the papers on my kitchen table. I'm 75 now. Still living in my house. Still managing just fine. Hannah is still here. She got engaged last month to a wonderful man named Marcus. They're planning a small wedding in my backyard. Richard sent me a Christmas card. No apology. Just a generic happy holidays, with a photo of his family. I threw it in the trash. Linda. I heard through the grapevine that she moved to another state. Started over. I hope she's doing better. But I don't wonder about it too much. Because here's what I learned. Your children don't own you just because you gave birth to them. You raised them. You fed them. You loved them. But that doesn't mean they get to take everything when you're too old to fight back. Sometimes the best thing you can do is say a no. Even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. So if you're watching this and someone's trying to pressure you into signing something, stop. Call a lawyer. Call the police. Call someone you trust. Don't let anyone, not even your kids, take what's yours. You're not too old. You're not too confused. You're not too anything. You're exactly what you need to be. Strong enough to say a no. Thanks for watching Silence Revenge. If this story fired you up, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Would you have called the police or tried to reason with them? Remember, never sign anything under pressure. See you next time. Stay strong, stay smart, and never let anyone take what you built.